Hi everyone, and hello from the sunny Lithuanian seaside. Unbelievable, the spring is here, the trees are blooming, and today it's a very special episode. Because episode 60, that's a nice number. I do like number 6 anyway. And also yesterday it was my birthday, and I thought that would be interesting to sit down, to reflect, and to see what kind of lessons I've got so far, and potentially to share those lessons and see if that resonates with you on your journey and maybe inspire you to keep doing what you're doing or actually to change the direction of your flow. I greeted my new year yesterday with a cold dip in the Baltic Sea. It was 3 degrees, super amazing, very tropical, but it was sunny. Had a nice walk, quality time with the family, nature, etc., you name it. And today with this beautiful sun, I'm recording an episode outside. And yeah, get ready to hear my 3 thoughts and lessons that I've got so far on my adventurous journey, with a lot of ups and downs, with a lot of learnings, failures, successes. I hope that inspires you to get that courage to pursue the life you want and to just stay true to yourself and live your most authentic life. So let's dive in. Real people, real stories, and real challenges that break the status quo. I'm your host, Zivile, and welcome to Perception Paradox. Number 1, be kind. Because I do believe that kindness is really underrated, and it's also free. So you never regret being kind, and I'm a firm believer that you should treat people the way you want to be treated. And yeah, then number 2, show compassion. So everyone is going through something, right? And a little compassion goes a long way when we try to at least to understand or open up for someone who potentially is not in the best stage of the current life situation, and just to be there. And then I've learned a lot about compassion from Dr. James Doty, who also written multiple books on manifestation, visualization. He is a neurosurgeon and at the same time very ritualistic and compassionate human being I've ever met in my life. So if you haven't checked his episodes or content yet, go get familiar yourself with. It's a beautiful journey and challenging one he's been through, and he shares quite some valuable lessons. Number 3, don't judge, because I do believe that judgment is often a mirror, and I catch myself very often on that what triggers us in others is something unresolved within us. So instead of judging, maybe it's time to actually sit down, to look within ourselves and to reflect where is that coming from. And number 4, especially when you're going through a tough time, and myself, I've been going through some challenging situations in the last few years, and this too shall pass. As cliche as it sounds, once you're really going through that time, that moment when you really ground yourself and accept what's happening, it might be joy or pain, everything is temporary, so embrace it fully, because we cannot live all the time on the highs. You need to embrace and befriend the lows to then later on celebrate the highs, right? Then the 5th one, I've been learning that for quite a long time. Open your heart. I think it's the best things in life require an open heart, love, connection, creativity. And there was sometimes I think through the rush of life we forget to do that. And there was a moment for me too where I just shut down it for a bit. And oh, sweet Jesus, it gets so difficult to do anything. And yeah, live life with an open heart. Be curious, embrace moments, and that's about it. And if you don't know how to do that, talk to someone who's done that before. Well, number 6, my favorite number, I think that's one of the key traits and values I grew up with. There is always a way. And if it feels impossible, you can always reframe it and take a different angle, take a new approach, talk to someone who's been in this situation or who is coming completely from different area, and there is always a way. I feel one of these key traits, what got me really going through many different experiences and embracing it, that instead of seeing some kind of, let's say, failure or danger, I would always look for different angles how it could work. Of course, evaluating the risks, but more or less still pursuing, embracing, and taking the responsibility of potential failure, but also owning the potential success. Number 7, act versus plan. So planning is really good, and I used to be a very vivid planner, like super. I do recall when I was part of one youth organization, we would do so much planning, quarter planning, and then evaluations that we actually would forget to execute. So a good reminder for us that planning is good, but without action and taking the first steps, it's just a daydreaming. So it's the same like just, I don't know, visualizing without taking an action. That could be a very good connection, right? We are encouraged nowadays to visualize our dream life, but next to that, I would encourage all of us to actually clarify the first steps and strategy how to get towards that dream life, because it can be many things that we want, but if we don't focus and if we don't have those actions in line, and they don't have to be big, we can break into smaller pieces. That's a big problem we always have, especially if you're more visionary, and that in my case that I was not able to break it down, and that's where the goal setting came in, and then Tyre, my mentor and North Star, who really guided me through breaking down into smaller pieces. So if you haven't read a book called How to Succeed and Set Goals, go for it. It might resonate some of the ways it described how to set your goals. Well, then number 8, life moves in cycles. So I call it maybe not cycles, I call it seasons. Seasons change, so do we. I think that in different parts of lives we're in different stage. So I guess embrace it, understand that it's always moving, and make most out of every season. Then number 9, life is a game, learn how to play. This is my favorite one because I do believe that life is a game, and the best part for me it's always to wake up and have guidance for the day, but truly own it, truly have control of an ability of actually to direct it the way I want and to change it, and just to approach it as a game. And if there's something, let's say if I'm having a very serious day, I like to play, experiment, have fun, and just, I don't know, don't take things too serious. We live only once, or at least one of the theories, right? And number 10, so that's a good one, the one I shortlisted. Most answers are within. So when I was making this list and writing down, that was one of the key ones that got me thinking and reflect that sometimes, whether it's business, relationship, or self-growth, reflection, we often actually seek external validation and opinion. It can apply to anything towards, I don't know, it can be a relationship coach, it can be career coach, it can be whatever, a friend, a relative, partner. But at the end of the day, most answers are within. And until we keep our minds so busy, we don't have space to hear those answers. So make sure that you find time to listen to your own thoughts as well. Number 11, storytelling is the key. And that's something I keep learning, but it is, because it matters how we tell our stories, it matters how we write our life scripts, and how later on we execute them. So just, make sure that you focus on that, because it's part of a game called life. Number 12, that's something I've been going through the last few years. Health is wealth. So not many of you know, but 3 years ago, myself being a very active person, surfer, kite surfer, runner, everything you name it, cycler, I couldn't get out of bed. I've got such an insane back pain that led me to many more pains and journey. It's been quite a long way out. But from that moment, I think every day what I'm grateful for is like those simple things like health, that you feel energetic, that you have actually mind capacity to do things and to dream big. And so as from someone who in a light possible way, I would say, been taking a possibility at some point to do the things that I really enjoy, it's take care of your body. It's literally your temple, it's the only place you can live. Prioritize your health, prioritize your sleep, nutrition. Sounds cliche, sounds like common sense, but it's true, it's very important. Then listen to your body. If you ignore small signs, they might turn into big problems. And that's what happened with my back pain. I kept ignoring the signals that were very clear indicates from what I see right now of my need to stop. But number 14. That's a funny one because I'm loud too. So the loudest people in the room often do the least. So that's also a reminder for myself which actions, not words, Because, yeah, we can always keep talking, but if we don't really execute, commit, then what's the point, right? Number 15. Collaboration beats competition. That's my favorite. That's something I believed all the time. And the pie is big enough for all of us, no matter what we're doing. So I encourage us all to remember, let's build it, don't tear down. And yeah, sharing is caring, I would say. Then the world is a mirror, right? Number 16. Again, we are going back a bit about the repetition, the judgment part that I mentioned. The things you dislike in others often reflect parts of yourself, so work on those. It might be really uncomfortable, but we have to face it. And it is possible to shift from mindset to behaviors just if we want it, right? Number 17, it's my North Star of life. Wherever you go with your all heart. I heard so many times some people telling me, don't try to commit that much, don't put so much energy into that. And I tried, but it just didn't work for me. So I think that's the point for everyone who are strong feelers, who really who wants to make most out of life, to go all into relationship, work, adventures. I know that Gen Z right now, the boomers were saying, be present, leave your phones, call, like, not cool. I do believe it's cool. Okay, I'm now not the Gen Z generation, but I do believe it's cool to embrace the moment, the nature of the relationship with yourself and the environment. So yeah, wherever you go with your all heart, because that's the way you can taste life, and that's the most beautiful flavor you can ever experience. Number 18, it's okay to fail. And myself growing up in a kind of post-Sovietic country where failure was not good and it was not accepted to be wrong, I had to learn it through putting myself into uncomfortable situations, that failure is just a proof of trying. So just keep moving, keep trying. It's not about what other people think, it's about you actually being brave enough to do things. And it's okay if it's not perfect. We learn as it goes, we iterate, right? It's like MVP, minimal viable product. Number 19, define your own success. Society will try to really dictate us what success look like. So define it for yourself. Because, yeah, we all want different things. We all have different priorities in life. And it's okay. There is room for everyone. But if you're listening to this, ask yourself a question. Am I living true to my own success and my own life direction? Number 20, again, we're moving back to the health part, so move your body daily. And I would call it consistency. Consistency is the key. And the reason we want to move our body daily, because it does hold and store emotions. And when we move, it helps us to reset, to a bit of kind of a navigate through. And yeah, it's just better for life. If you're in a bad mood, instead of staying in the bad mood or listening for crying songs or chasing for that snack, don't run away from that, but try to embrace it by the movement first. And yeah, 21, consistency beats intensity. That's something I had to learn hard way. My whole life I lived actually on a very, very high intensity periods. But when 3 years ago I've got stopped because of my back, I did learn finally the value of consistency. And the way I've got back to my full strength was actually showing up to myself every day, even in small ways, even when I did not feel that. So the interesting change that has happened during the 3 years, that no matter what now, yeah, you just show up, and you just do what you have to do without questioning. I think it's very relevant for someone who lives a lot life on the highs and lows, which it was in my case. Then again, we're going back to being kind as well. So number 22. The golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated. I mean, it's simple but transformative. There is nothing else to add. Number 24, get your priorities straight. Urgent is not always important, so choose wisely. And nowadays, such an active lifestyle and so many possibilities, we really forget to prioritize sometimes the things that truly matters. Number 23, spend time with loved ones. At the end of the day, I think relationships matter most, and it's great to build new relationships, but don't forget to nurture the old ones. And I would say that also falls together with a bit of a loyalty to that relationship, and love that relationship not only through the highs but also through the lows. That's when the true friendship actually shows up. So the next time you're low, Think about people who actually took the effort to be there for you. Number 24. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm already getting lost with my own list. I guess 23 was covered, 24 of get your priorities straight was covered, number 25 of the observe more. You can learn a lot by watching, and by watching how people are treating others, by watching how things are being organized. Sometimes you even don't need to talk to someone. You can identify some characteristics, just how the way that person enters the room. Was that person kind to others? How did he treat in the restaurant staff that served him? And etc, etc, etc. So be cautious about that and observe more. Number 26, that's something I mentioned, be present. The past is gone, the future isn't real yet, so now is all we have. So embrace it. Don't wait for something to be better. Don't wait. I will start traveling when? When? That when can never happen. So that's why we should really do it now. Or that when it can happen, but we not necessarily be in our best shape. Number 27. Meditate. A lot of people have been talking about that. There are different apps, there are different ways to do that. No matter how you do it, no matter what way you choose, I encourage everyone to meditate. Even if it feels uncomfortable, and especially if it's actually uncomfortable. And you can do that different ways. Usually I do myself mix and match. I do like running without headphones, taking long walks. Sometimes I put myself into uncomfortable situation and just sitting with myself and the sound. Sometimes I just use an app because it's way better than nothing, and some guidance, it's always good, right? And that leads to number 28. Become your best friend. I think nothing better is than enjoying your own company and taking yourself on dates, on solo trips. I know that it's becoming now a trend, which I'm actually happy to see, as long as it doesn't go to extreme loneliness pandemic, which is happening as well. But understanding yourself and not looking for a relationship just to fill the void, I think that's the most important thing. Because nobody will fix you unless you fix yourself. Well, I wouldn't call it fixed. Nobody will make your own self grow besides your own self, right? Number 29. Use your energy wisely. Well, we don't own time, that's one of the learnings for sure, but we do own where we put our energy. So sometimes we forget to take care of our precious energy. So remember that when sometimes you feel low, to ask, do I really have to do something, or to go to the social gathering, or my energy is not there today and maybe I should step back and to get ready for tomorrow. Number 30, learn to ask for help. That's a difficult one, and what I've learned during the last years that strong people ask for support, and you don't have to do it alone. I'm still learning it, everyone does, but I thought it's very important to mention it through this list and to remind ourselves, ask for help, because you will be surprised how many people are here for each other. Number 31, choose a supportive environment. Because I do believe that life is way better when we choose an environment where we can lift each other up, where we celebrate life rather than complain life. And don't mix match with being ignorant. It's more about approach towards life and what can we do most out of this moment. So choose your surroundings wisely, because with them you can go far and you can create something magical. Number 32, act with courage. Fear is always there. I very often receive a question, are you still afraid when you go on the stage to the emceeing moderation? And one wise man, performer, once told me, if you ever lose fear, it means that you are ready for the next challenge and you need to learn something new. So as long as I'm still excited and I feel there's a bit of discomfort, I know how to handle it way better right now, but as long as I have this tickling, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm on the right path. So, and I just choose courage and I don't allow fear to win over me. And the final one, number 33, own your life, own your destiny. So no excuses, I would say, no buts. This is your one life, make it count, because there is always a way. You just need sometimes to think out of the box or talk to people who've done that before. And that's where we also fall into one more point, mentorship. Get yourself a mentor, because that will help you also move faster. So that was my first solo episode. Now when I'm sitting here and looking into this microphone and camera, I'm like, should I record it again or try it again? But no. I do like that it's real. I do like that it's really not unscripted besides my rumbled list, so I don't lose the order. And I hope that some of the points speaks to you. Of course, I would like to hear which one. And yeah, remember, your actions today shape your future. So go out there, live with intention, courage, and joy. And yeah. And that's me, my rambling from the sunny seaside of Lithuania. And if you want to wish me happy birthday, let's say because you just listened to the episode, or you forgot, or you didn't know, the best way to do that would be to show your support for Ukraine and to donate some money there. And if you want a bonus gift, you can always subscribe and like the podcast on your favorite channel. So thank you very much. It was Zivile. It was my episode 60. Very raw, open, just something to rambling and see if that resonates with the audience who is out here up for living its own unique life with full of courage, full of passions and love, success and failures that comes together. And yeah, and choosing yes instead of but. So I wish you a very great start of the spring, and I'm gonna see you very soon. Thank you. Bye.